Hello, Jim Dowson here. What's on the Templar report? Well, I've got terrible news. The Royal National Lifeboat Institute are a bunch of commie reds, LGBTQ plus fanatics. You shouldn't give them any money. Anybody who volunteer for them should walk away immediately. Are you sure about that, Jim? I'm absolutely sure. If you watch the Templar report, I'll explain it all in great detail. Thank you very much. Aggravation and making people very angry, and I'm one of them, but I'm angry quite a lot. But anyway, I want to speak to you today about one of Britain's most venerated charities, the Royal National Lifeboat Institute. You see the collection boxes in most shops. It's shaped like a wee blue and white light rescue boat, lifeboat. And all my life I've been encouraged by my granny, my parents, always put money in that box. These people are all volunteers. They're out in all weathers at their own expense. The government don't cover the costs. It's us, the people, we finance this, and these people are risking their life in the dangerous North Sea and Atlantic. And, all my life I've held these people up like a hero worship. These men, my goodness, they're all volunteers. And they're doing all this for us Brits, and they operate in Ireland as well. Still with the royal name attached. Very odd. But, much honour, much respect. Salute them. Brilliant. However, have a look at this headline. Here we go again. The Royal National Lifeboat Institute have been given millions of pounds to Muslims in Bangladesh and in Zanzibar. And not only that, say, Muslims got to get saved from the sea as well. Maybe so, but this is called the Royal National Lifeboat Institute, not international, okay? So I had no idea, as most people, that they were dealing in international stuff. But what are they spending the money on? Well, a lot of the money's went on Burkinis. What is such a thing? I hear you say. Burkinis. Well, they're more interested in remaining modest than being plucked out of the water, maybe with a bikini on. So they've got to have Burkinis. Oh, look, where do you go with this? The Royal National Lifeboat Institute is spending millions of pounds buying Muslim women in Zanzibar, where's that, Tanzania somewhere, Burkini in Africa, Burkinis, so their modesty's protected. I think if you're drowning in the middle of the sea, you couldn't give a monkeys where you got a Burkini on, a ballroom frock, a James Bond suit, or you're butt naked. I don't think it matters. But anyway, seemingly it does matter. So millions of British and Irish pounds and euros have been sent to Africa to buy Burkinis, and also sent to Bangladesh, where they're opening creches to look after people's kids. What in God's name is going on with these people? Anyway, that's what's happening, and they've done this, and I personally phoned them and asked to speak to the hoi polloi and what's going on. Found out that they turn over about $200 million a year, £180 million, and their chief executive is paying himself about £200,000. Incredible. I mean, I was always under the impression that this was all volunteers, and they emphasise that in the literature, volunteer organisation, da-da-da-da-da. Turns out they've got tens of millions of pounds going out in wages and superannuations and pensions and all the rest of it. So it's really crazy. But I also want you to look on their website what else they promote and are very proud to promote. Have a look at this. Stonewall. Who is Stonewall? Well, let me tell you who Stonewall are. Right, Stonewall is a LGBTQ plus organisation, but they're also regarded as extremely militant. They take their name from the Stonewall riots, which is, I think, New York, long time ago, 69 or something like that. So they're a very militant group. But here's an interesting thing. They were once, one of the main directors of it, years ago, was a woman called Angela Mason. Who's Angela Mason? Well, you need to understand this, but this is on the main page of the RNLI, the Lifeboat Association, along with all their diversity stuff and their anti-racist stuff, all the rest of it. I mean, it really is the long march through the institutions by the cultural Marxists. I had no idea that these people were absolutely in full grip of the Royal National Lifeboat Institute. No idea, but they are, because they wouldn't be promoting this kind of stuff. So Stonewall was once run by Angela Mason. Now, Angela Mason Born 1944 as a British, now she's a British civil servant and activist, former director of the UK-based lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender lobbying organisation, very militant, Stonewall. She's currently chair of the Fawcett Society, again bad news, a UK women's rights campaigning organisation, and she's also a Labour Party, that's Jeremy Corbyn's mob, party councillor in Camden, London. That's where all the real lefty liberals live, Camden. I miss out some of this stuff. But anyway, fast forward a few years, obviously she came from a very good home. She's one of the Champagne Marxists, went to college, university, all this, so School of Economics, blah, blah, blah. And she was an early member of the Gay Liberation Front. Again, very, very militant gay outfit. But we come to a part in her life where there was terrorism charges. She was one of the Stoke Newington 8, that's a part of London, who was charged with planting or sending bombs which are aimed to maim or kill government ministers, their families and Conservative Party officials. And you advertise this on your website, a group who were involved with this woman. She was one of the 4 accused. Now, she was acquitted following a long and still controversial trial. Controversial in my opinion because they weren't convicted. Mason still refuses to discuss the trial in interviews today. I bloody bet you she does. But think about it, these people, this Stoke Newington 8, were trying to kill government ministers and their families belonging to the right-wing party. Unbelievable. Mason was also an activist in the trade union and radical movements. Wow, surely no. There's a surprise. She had a career also in the Angry Brigade. Do you remember them? The older people remember them. Lunatics, mad lefties, want to kill people. Mason became a lecturer at LSE, and then principal solicitor for the London Borough of Camden. That's where the lefties live, the elites. She became a member of the gay rights organisation Stonewall between 1989, becoming its director in 1992. But then she goes on to serve a role in government. From 2003 to 2007, she was the director of the UK's Government Women and Equality Unit, now the Government's Equalities Office, with a high salary attracting media attention. Isn't it wonderful that all these communists, all these Marxists, all these radicals, they all end up in big government jobs earning hundreds of thousands of years and shouting up the revolution? They are full of BS, a lot of them. Anyway, Mason has also been a member of the Equalities Opportunities Commission. I mean, this is the governing body who make rules about what's fair and what's not fair in Britain. She was a member on it. She's on the board of the Equal Opportunities Commission. But she was up on trial with a group of people for trying to kill government ministers and their families. Unbelievable. Controversially, surely not, she used her position as a senior civil servant to oppose one measure of legislative equality for gay people, protection against discrimination in the delivery of public and commercial services. However, she was unsuccessful and it was passed in the Equalities Act 2006. She was awarded the OBE, an award. It's the government that make it, but it's an OBE. Order of the British Empire, handed out by the Queen, and promoted to CBE, which is even higher, in 2007. So let's get this right. This is a crazed, radical, feminist, LGBTQ plus activist who's also been involved in a trial for people making bombs trying to kill Conservatives. And now she's got an OBE and a CBE. You know, the West is lost. It really is lost when this happens. A right-wing person has to put maybe a bad turn of phrase on his Twitter or his Facebook. He's destroyed for life. He's out his job, his bank account shut. He's labelled and targeted as an extremist. Yet this woman's got a CBE and an OBE. Commander of the British Empire. Since 2007, she's been advisor to the IDEA Government Quango, which means it's non-elected, which provides guidelines and regulations to all local authorities in England on equality issues. I bet she's equal in that. She was also appointed as the chair of the feminist group, the Fawcett Society, the same year. In 2010, she was elected as a Labour councillor for Camden Borough Council, left wing, and so on and so forth. She served as deputy leader of the council and a cabinet member for the sustainability, but was dismissed from the roles in May 2011. She was, however, reappointed to the council's cabinet the following year. She's now, wait to hear this woman I've just spoke about, all her madness and all her extremism, she's now cabinet member for children. God preserve us. In her personal life, mind you, do things get any better? Mason married scriptwriter William Mason in 1971. They divorced in 1980, with Mason retaining her married surname. Now she's in a civil partnership with a Marxist academic, Elizabeth Wilson, and has a daughter who was conceived by artificial insemination. Who would have believed it? So these are the people, this is the type of person the Royal National Lifeboat Institute are hanging their hat on. Oh, I know it's Stonewall, but that's who Stonewall used to be involved with, and they're, very militant in what they believe. So that's who the Royal National Lifeboat Institute is today, and I am furious, and not only that, I'm so disappointed, because the guys who jump into the sea and rescue folk are wonderful people, but this institution has been completely gripped by the cultural Marxists. And all over the papers the last couple of days, you have a look at some of these headlines. They're saying, the money's pouring in. Yeah, that's all the lefties and the gays pouring the money, and that'll last a few months. But the actual general public, the 60-odd million people in Britain who finance that group, will walk away. And I would say, if you're a patriot, a decent, normal, run-of-the-mill, family-based patriot, especially if you're a Christian, you must also walk away from this organisation. Give them not a cent. Give them nothing. Give them nothing and let them wither on the vine. But they won't wither on the vine because they're in with the lefties, so the government or some will throw them money. But getting money out of normal patriots, don't waste your money. Give your money to other good causes in our own country. It's called the Royal National Lifeboat Institute, not Royal International. So they're saying, well, we make this plain that we give money to Africa and all these other countries. No, you don't, because I never knew about it, and millions of people in Britain don't know about it. That's why they're so angry. So I'm very disappointed to tell you that, once again, another British institution has been captured by the enemy. But that's why we say the cultural Marxists and their philosophy was the long march through the institutions. Well, that's another institution they've got. It's gone. It's history. Dry up your eyes. Move on. Be like me. Look about for another worthy charity to give your hard-earned money to. But whatever you do, give these people not another penny. And if you're a good patriot who works for this group, volunteers for them, pull your services out. You cannot, in clear conscience, give your services to these people anymore. No, it cannot be done. So I'll leave you with that. Sorry to give you such bad news, but that's the world we're living in. The Templars are still fighting. All the more reason for you to join the Templars if you're not already a member. If you are a member, to support us, to go onto our website, which is templarorder.com. Or is it the Templar Order? I get mixed up. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's knightstemplarorder.com. knightstemplarorder.com. Go on it. Get this video, share this video with your friends, share it on Twitter, share it on other social media outlets, and let people know there's still folk in this world, still fighting, still telling the truth, and still 100% loyal, who can never be bought, because we're already bought. We're bought by the blood of Jesus. So we are already owned by somebody else. We're not up for negotiation, and we're not up for takeover. God bless you, and I'll see you again on the Templar Report. Thank you.
The threat is real, and we are on the front line. In a world of misinformation and attacks from the left and mainstream media, censorship, deplatforming, it is time to call out the fake news and bring you the truth. We are the Knights Templar. Visit our website and join today. We are the Resistance. Deus Vult.